Join Billie Jean, he's a friend that's bright as the moon. Spins a yarn about recipes and crafts you can do. Shares old tales till the night turns purple hue. Got a voice like
It's 7:30, y'all. And, you know, I've been on my quest. I've done my bread cookbook and going through recipes, the family recipes, restaurant recipes. And then I ground my flour the other night to show you how to do that. And I know it's a lot healthier because that is unbleached flour. And you know, when you buy bleached flour that is store-bought, I think that my body reacts to that because of the peroxide and the bleaching agents. Naturally, you can let flour set for quite a few months in the open air, and it will be very similar to bleached. But that's why companies bleach their flour with peroxide or bleaching agents, is because it takes too long for demand and having it done quicker. Now, on that, with that being said, one thing about a biscuit that is unbleached flour, you don't get, the bleaching agent helps the biscuit to bake and rise and do all that good stuff. Now the flavor of these biscuits is excellent. They're soft, but they don't rise. Or these didn't rise. I've had them rise a little more before, but so that's my quest, is the moist, very moist biscuits. Very good flavor. So I told y'all that my quest is to figure out about the perfect biscuit. The Jean gets messy every day. Let me use towel. Get a fresh cloth. I had flour all over this place. Got us a fresh cloth. But today, or this morning, I'm going to try using that flour, and I think my baking powder, I don't know that it's not, I didn't put a date on it like I normally do. And I've used this same can for many years, well, 2-3 years. So I can't tell about the can, but I'm just going to make my own baking powder in these biscuits so that I can tell if it's the baking powder. And so I'll do that, and then we'll see how these biscuits come out. You know, whenever I've used this home ground winter wheat berries, I can tell my stomach and my mouth does not get dry. I'm wondering if a person that was kind of gluten sensitive, that gets a dry mouth or rash or anything. I know that my rash cleared up when I was using this home ground flour. So, you know, I don't know that for sure, but we're gonna figure it out, because I'm on a quest to find the best biscuit, the healthiest biscuit, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to use that Crisco. I know that that's not as healthy, And I'm going to get away from the Crisco, but today that's what I'm going to use because I've got that Crisco that needs to be used that I keep in the ice box. So, this is just a little instruction video about biscuits. If you want to fast forward, or if you don't want to know how to make biscuits, that's all this is going to be. So I just want to start having shorter videos because they're too long, and trying to do more instruction because I learn just like y'all. Even though I've been cooking for a long time, you learn something every minute. And if I don't know something, I'm one of those people that's inquisitive. My mother said I would stop. Mama said I'd stop and ask somebody at the store. Somebody I didn't even know. If I didn't know what something was or whatever, I didn't care who it was. I'd just go up and ask them. And she said, he'll stop somebody in mid-sentence. Excuse me, could you tell me what that word means? And she's correct. I'm that inquisitive. I'm that way. So we're going to try this. Now, the recipe that I posted yesterday was the Crisco buttermilk biscuit. And it was for your self-rising flour. Now, since I don't have self-rising, because this does not have any agents in it, so I'm going to do that today. I'm going to do it all natural, as they say. So let's go 2 cups. Let's do 2 cups of our home ground flour. And since I'm not so sure about that baking powder being fresh, I'm just going to make it, because all you have to do is you take your cornstarch. So to each teaspoon of baking powder, you would use 1/4 cornstarch. Okay, put that in there. That's 1/4 cornstarch. Now this adds up to a teaspoon. 1/4 cornstarch, 1/4. Granny Pat laughs at me about my baking soda. 1/4 Arm & Hammer baking soda. And then I use a 1/2 cream of tartar. So you get your 1/2. Get that out. 1/2 of cream of tartar. Now, that's your teaspoon. So you go 1/4 cornstarch, 1/4 soda. That's baking soda. So you go 1/4 cornstarch, 1/4 baking soda, and a 1/2 cream of tartar equals 1 teaspoon. And that's what you put in your... Now if I needed 2 teaspoons, then I would do it. And I'm wondering, because we're seeing about this recipe. So we're just going to leave that. Mix that really good. You want that really good and mixed, because if you don't, it'll be bitter. Sometimes you'll bite into a piece of biscuit or bread and it'll be bitter because you didn't get that mixed up. Now I'm using that 1 cup of buttermilk in this. See, that's what will react to lift those biscuits up. That will react with your soda and the cream of tartar. And when you use your baking powder, that's why we've got our 2 cups of flour. And since it wasn't self-rising flour, we put our 1/4 cornstarch, 1/4 soda, and 1/2 cream of tartar, which equal 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Just like your old Clabber Girl. And then now we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So let me get my 1/2 teaspoon. A 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mix that in. Okay. Now, put Dolly back up there. 1/4. We'll do 1/4 cup of our Crisco. And I've got my, I could put that in I went up to Walmart last night. I had broke the handle out of my pastry blender. So one of the sweet followers sent me one of those super thanks money. And so I went up to Walmart and I got me one of these good, that's a good pastry blender that's got that not plastic handle, but a wood with where you can hold on to it, that cushion kind of plasticky stuff. Dee gave me the money and I went and bought this. Thank you, Dee, because I did need this because my old wood handle off of the one I had for many years decided to give up the ghost last week, and it just went crunch, crunch, crunch. So that's what happened. So for me to get this mixed properly, I'm going to go ahead and transfer that into my big sponge bowl. Because I want this done. I want to see how it's done, what's done. That's just the way I am. Then I want to use my pastry blender just to see how well it works. I'm like a kid with a new toy. I've got to see how it works. We're just going to use our 1/4 cup of Crisco right now. Now that's cold. That's been in the icebox. It's not been in the freezer. So I'd say that right there is about 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup of Crisco. I just take my knife and I cut that to get it kind of started down in my flour so that it don't gum up all around that pastry tool. You can take, if you don't have that pastry tool, you can take 2 knives, case knives, and put them in, it'll do it. Oh yeah, it works good. It works good, y'all. Now if you want a butter flavor, this is what I always did. That's not in my, I don't have this in my recipe, so this is just, I think, take about 3 tablespoons of butter. Cold butter. You can do that for me. Let me get this back in the icebox. I do that for any recipe. I mean, it doesn't have to be any certain recipe. And you can do this without your Crisco. You can use butter. Nothing says you can't mix and do what you want to. It's your bowl, it's your butter, it's your flour. Just experiment. That's what I do. If it comes out right, I tell you off. If it don't come out right, I tell you. So let's put that in there. think that'll be too much. So we'll try that and make it more buttery flavor. Let's get that off of there. Get that off of there. That's a good pastry blender. Okay, so now you get our buttermilk. Let me get our buttermilk. So we've got our 2 cups of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, the 1/4 cup of Crisco, the 3 tablespoons of regular cream butter, and then we'll do our 1 cup of buttered milk. Now that's what will make that react, is your 1 cup of buttered milk. Instead of more butter, I'm gonna use my avocado oil, just so that I don't have all that butter. Let me take my ring off. Rinse my hands still. So I want to get in here and get this. I just want to get this more blended better, where it becomes kind of like peas. This is where I always can tell if I need to add more whatever. And you just kind of learn it. Put this stuff on. See how that's just kind of peeing up? Getting kind of, well, baby Kitty got out last night. He don't usually do that, but he did last night. Y'all, it took me 2 hours to look around the field, grass, trees. I don't know what got into him. He's been fixed. They all been fixed, but see how that's coming together? The more you work this, you don't want to work it 1,000 times, but you've got to get this done. Okay. Now we'll put our cup of buttermilk just in there. Let that set a second. Let me get a wood spoon, a smaller wood spoon. Just mix that. Use your spoon to cream that down in there. Now, we'll set that over here. Off my hands. I'll clean this up. Well, y'all, it's a weekend. I hope that I hardly ever go anywhere, but I'm supposed to go to a little festival thing this afternoon about 5 o'clock. I never go, but this, I decided, Mother can go with me. I'll put her in her room. Scooter chair, if she wants to go. Now, in the biscuits, when I make them, I'll use sweet cream instead of regular milk. That always makes it good too. These gnats, I hate these little gnats. This time of year, here they come. They want to come around and mess with you. Let me get some. I just want a little flour from my little board. Let me move. Y'all, this kitchen is so small. I'll tell you. It's alright though. Look, who's in? I put a little water on the back of my glass. I put a little water on that, and that holds it on that glass stove so it don't go sliding off. Because you know, if it's going to slide off, Billie Jean will. It will. Sure will. Okay. I'm just going to put a little flour down there. See, I can tell that needs to be ground more. But I haven't had a chance to set and get it done. Okay, see our dough, biscuit dough. Let's just scrape that onto our. So see, that has set there. So that's reacted. That's reacted. And that's what you want, kind of reacted. You just want that where it's kind of coming together. That's pretty wet, but it'll be all right. Just have to keep. You don't want it too dry, but you don't want it too wet either. You want it to where it comes together. Okay? So I'm gonna rinse my hands. I don't like it. I see all them people cleaning. They'll take their hands and pull that off of there. I don't like that. If I can't, I'm not. I mean, I have to use my hands to do it, but I don't like pulling that stuff off. That might get something from my skin. I don't know. I just don't like doing that. Never have. Okay. Let's see how many. Let's see how many. Let me get a little tool here. Get our little pan. I'm going to use this other iron skillet here. This one I'm going to use. I'm going to put some avocado oil down in there just to get it greased up. You can heat that and all that, but I'm not doing it. I think that oil helps raise things, like I say, to the heavens. So you want that, just your pan. Does butter. So I think I've had enough butter. Now dip that in my flour. What you can do is just kind of put a little there and then go straight down. Do not turn whatsoever. Put it in the pan. I guess y'all can see that. Okay. Now I'll pull that kind of in. Kind of down, straight down. I'll pull that in. Now when I say don't turn, I mean don't turn your little deal, your cutter. I kind of rearrange that so I can get I just slide that out. I'm not turning my thing. I'm just sliding my cutter out. That's going to be probably a lot more. You can make them with your hands if you don't have a cutter. You can do it just like that. Let's put that one. Yeah, I only had a half pan, but I made them real thick because I wanted to see. So I just made them thicker than I normally do. Because I didn't want a bunch of little bitty bits to get my hands. Alright, so I'm going to put these, I'm going to squirt a little of my avocado oil. I've got to go get some of that today, I really do. I keep saying it, but okay, I spread it out on top. Avocado oil. I'm gonna put these in 475. Okay, so we're going to see how those come out with our home ground flour. And those are probably baked, well, as thick as those are, it might be 16 minutes at night. Most of the time I bake them probably 15 minutes, so 15 to 20, they're pretty thick, but we just have to watch them and see. That's the way y'all have to do that at home. Trying to get the mess cleaned up, you know how that is. Okay, I'll be back and we'll check on once they get baked, we'll come see how they look. Talk to you soon. Okay, let's check those and just see. We're probably going to have to butter the top. That'll be time to butter the top of these. So what I do is I just take my butter. There. That's good enough for right now. Let's put them back in there. We'll see. I kind of got this mess cleaned up. Got my bowls for later. Get all this Billie Jean's messy mess cleaned up. As soon as those get out, I'll be right back. Let's see how they do. Let them set for a minute. They're pretty golden brown, but that one reason that they look a lot goldener than because of the unbleached flour. But we're not getting all that old carcinage stuff in there. None of them old shelf stability and none of that bleach and hydrogen peroxide. They can keep that for the hair. I'm going to not put it in my biscuits or my bread ever again. Because I know that's what was making me sick. I do. See how these come out. Yeah, they're going to be hot. They are going to be hot, y'all. Oh, they're crumbly. And that's what I have found with the home ground flour, is that they've got such a good taste. They are crumbly. But for the flavor and me knowing that my health, I'm not going to feel bad today because of it. I'll just see about it. Let's take a bite of that in just a minute. Let's see, let's see how these come out now. And they didn't rise like a bleached floured biscuit would. So, they did okay though. I mean, they're more crumbly than what I want if I was serving them. So I'd probably add more. I may try the next batch with sweet cream milk instead of buttermilk, because that'll bring it together better. But I like the way that they're fluffed up. They look good, and I know they're going to taste good because those yesterday tasted good, but they don't have no rise to them. These are more of a softer biscuit today than those yesterday. So we'll get this figured out, but now y'all know about the biscuits. And it would be totally different with the bleached flour. It really would. But because of the stability and everything that the bleached flour gives you, of course, you'd use your self-rising flour, which I went ahead and upgraded this so I could use, because I was afraid of the baking powder. And these look fluffier. So maybe it is kind of, maybe it isn't. But it's another video for y'all to watch and talk about, and it's another one I can check off my list that I tried this or that for the biscuits. So, God bless y'all, God bless us, God bless the United States. Y'all be safe this weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Wish y'all was here to have one of these biscuits with us. I'd put some grape jelly on it or some gravy for you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Gosh, I had to come back on. These are the best biscuits I've ever eaten in my life. The flavor. Yes, they're crumbly, but it's because I put that extra butter in there, and I forgot I didn't upgrade the flour part. I'm going to tell y'all something. This is the best biscuit I think I've ever had. It's so buttery. Now this would be a biscuit that would be great with the grape jelly. I'm going to have my gravy, because I've already planned that. This is a good fruit jellied biscuit. Okay, I just had to come on and tell y'all, even though they're crumbly, we'll need to upgrade. Take some of that Crisco or butter out, or instead of doing that, might try making them just with the butter, the 1/4 cup of butter, instead of 1/4, and then the 3 tablespoons of 1/4 of Crisco with 3 tablespoons. We need to adjust that, and if we don't want to adjust that part, I can't hardly quit eating these. Then we need to add more flour. So that's what I'm going to add to this. Talk to you later.